So my name is Michael Tostevin, and in the 80s and 90s I ran the post-production sound suite at Channel Television. During that time I worked on a number of commercials, and a set of those commercials was for a small independent retailer run by one man, Stuart Benest. And they were, of course,
Benest and Millbrook and Fine Price.
Stuart Benest was a man that knew what he wanted. All these commercials, people say, but they're all the same. And they were pretty much, to the extent that once he'd done the voiceover, we would put reverb on it. Originally, we had a very basic reverb unit, which was like one dial to how long the reverb was. And he got to something he really liked, and that was it. Every time it had to be the same.
Times change, so do the pressures on us all. And with the pressures, the busy housewife feels the need of more flexible shopping hours.
We bought a new reverb unit, which was much more complicated. You could adjust attack and delay and the time it held up. And it took me 2 hours sitting with him to get a reverb sound that he really liked.
Benest and Millbrook and Fine Price. Benest and Millbrook and Fine Price. Benest and Millbrook and Fine Price.
He would listen to it at home, and then he would phone up and say, "It's not right," and he'd come in and redo it.
You know for whom I speak.
There was never an agency involved. He wrote his own scripts, bought them in with him, had them typed up, and delivered them.
The range of sliced bread now supplied by this company has become well known and has been warmly received. Many are those who have expressed the view that whilst the reduced price scales are very welcome, they appreciate most the variety and sheer quality of the products. We will particularly draw attention to the Kingsmill 800-gram medium white sliced, a superb loaf, which we offer for 3 weeks only at the special price of 67 pence.
He was absolutely down the line what he was. I mean, there was no showbiz flair with him. That's the man he was, exactly the man he was. His English was good, his grammar was good, they all made sense. So there was nothing to tackle him about, really. It was his commercial, and that's how he wanted it. And nobody was brave enough anyway.
Amid the brooding forebodings caused by the recession, this company prefers a well-founded optimism for the future.
He was absolutely formidable, but he wasn't. He was a really nice guy. I mean, there are very few supermarket owners, and he did very well for himself. On a busy Saturday, he would be in the car park as a no-nonsense traffic director. "You there!" And he didn't want to park anywhere else. And that's what he was all about, helping people out.
Exceptional value. Quencher Lemonade, 2 litre, 52 pence.
Every Saturday, my wife and I would shop there. And yes, the chip steaks were amazing. They were a staple of a barbecue.
Chip steaks, unique and delicious, with tremendous protein value. These steaks are made daily on our premises under relentless supervision to the highest specifications and from the finest beef. And they represent something entirely new.
They were brilliant. They were the best barbecue food in the minced and shaped variety. Ever vigilant.
Buy some tomorrow. You will love them, and so will all the family.
I would like to have called him Stuart, but he never invited me to. And it's not the sort of person you go, "Stuart," because he'd give you a kind of a withering look at me. He called me Mike, or if he forgot my name, he'd call me Lad.
Benest and Millbrook and Fine Price. These stores have become a legend for the services they provide. Services which include large fresh meat operations run by the finest butchers in the old traditional way, full chemist facilities at the Millbrook outlets, spacious, well-controlled parking, and 16 cash points manned at weekends to avoid lengthy queuing. Porterage where necessary. The whole under the best supervision of all. Family management. Ever vigilant.
If you went into Benest many years ago, on the wall was a sepia-toned photograph of, I think it was his grandfather. I don't think it was his father. I think it was his grandfather who started the Benest Emporium up. Started as a, I guess in a corner shop. And he was so proud of his ancestry and how the business had succeeded and was continuing to succeed. And in the days of big profits multinationals, he was immensely proud of being able to offer good quality food at reasonable prices. It wasn't about the profit. Obviously he wanted to make a profit, everybody wants to make a profit. But it was all about a service and value for money. Porterage where necessary. They carried your bags to the car.
5 superlatives. Nescafe, 200 gram, £2.64. Carlsberg Special Brew, 440ml, 59 pence. Personal Automatic, E10, £3.19. And Winalot, 2.5 kilo, £1.36. In addition, we confidently ask your help in making our Telethon 90 contribution richly successful. Details abound in our store areas.
At the time we were doing commercials for quite a number of supermarkets. Benest, Co-op, Lavish, that sort of thing. And they would bring in supermarket trolleys full of product so that we could do what we call pack shots. So you make a stack of beer cans or a stack of baked bean cans or a stack of bread so that you can do a pack shot. So when you talk about it, there it is. Mr. Benest would bring in one item of each. So it would be a loaf of bread, a tin of beans, and he would insist on taking them back with him. And they'd come in one of those wire baskets from the supermarket. Bless him. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
You are judge and jury.
In the old dubbing suite, there was the door to the outside world, and right next to it was the door to the voiceover booth, where he would go to do his voiceovers. There's a microphone and a table in there, basically, that's it. And he did the classic broom closet thing, you know. He said, right, thank you very much, and off he was. And he opened the door to the sound booth and walked in. And he must have gone, turned around, walked out as if nothing had happened, and went out the door. Didn't say another word. It was brilliant. But that was him.
With the inclusion of a dispensing chemist within our fine price supermarket complex, in line with that existing in our Millbrook outlet, this company is following the increasing trend in mainland supermarkets. It symbolizes our determination to provide a total service, unique in the local food trade. A determination underwritten by a young and vigorous management team.
Once I got to know him a bit, I would say, oh, could you just do me another one? I'm sorry, I had a problem there. But it was if he fluffed a word or stumbled or I didn't really think he pronounced it right. But he was one of these people that you could never say things like, can we just do one for Lloyd's, which was a saying we used to do, meaning one for insurance. So if one messes up, there's a problem. Because if you've got it, you've got it. You know, there's no point doing another one if you've already got it once.
The service is professional. Benest and Millbrook and fine price. Stores which preserve the old values.
Difficult man to sum up in a few. He was a good man. I've no doubt about that. And remembering that I knew him through work, but I did get to know him a little bit through the supermarket and with working with him. But he was a good man. He was scrupulously honest and a good man. Yeah, a good man is probably the best man. I loved him to bits. He was great.